Hey everybody, I had another dream. Imagine that, had another dream. Been a few days, and so I don't know, I guess that's one way you can tell I'm not just making all this up because I'm not just gonna sit here and make stuff up. But today I actually remembered bits and pieces of it. So I thought it was significant enough to share because, yeah, once again, it's kind of weird. And as you can see, Tynos. He's waiting on the edge of the seat just to hear about it. But so yeah, this one starts out. We were going to town. You know, we live up here in the mountains, and usually have to drive to town to get supplies, and so that's what we were doing. We were driving to town. I don't know if it was groceries or just some basic commodities. And interestingly enough, you know, I was latest podcast is about Bitcoin again, and of course, you know, so that's my topic of interest lately. So, you know, take it with a grain of salt. Whether or not you think it's influenced by my own thought processes, it very well could be. I mean, I guess pretty much every dream we have is in some sense influenced through the medium of our mind. So with all that in context, we were at a store, kind of like a general store type thing, and the guy behind the counter, they were only accepting, I think it was large bills, like nothing under a $20 bill. Interesting. So, but I didn't have that much money, I guess. That's a bad sign for the future. That's not saying much, but so I just handed him what I could. I went in there a couple times, and the second time I remember distinctly, he was it was such a big deal that he had to kind of like use code words to communicate, like he's trying to help us out. So he was like 2 sticks or something like that. I don't know, sticks. And you know, kind of when nobody's looking type thing, I just kind of slipped 2 bills, whatever they were, on the table, on the counter. And it was cool because he was like putting himself at risk, I guess, for accepting this form of currency. Like it was going to put him out or make things kind of a pain for him. But in any case, that was cool. Interesting. So the next, he just put his paw on my shoulder. He's like, he knows how to keep me in my place. You know how cats are? I'm like, yep. You're my little pet, aren't you? Part 2, Act 2, was, so I was driving down the highway. I think this was in Loveland, and one person I thought was a person on a motorcycle passed me by, and another one just like it. And I think it was the second time I noticed that's not a real person driving that bike. And it was almost like, have you seen the style of craftsmanship or artwork that some people put in their yards? It's like a silhouette people. My grandfather, who's passed away now, used to do that. He was real handy with the woodwork, and he had a bunch of those, like climbing over the fences outside their backyard. So it was like this silhouette. It was like and it reminded me just of like a painted black plywood. And then I had a bunch of like unlit lights all over the back of it. And to me, what popped in my mind was like, you know how when you're playing laser tag and you have those little, you know, detectors all over your body to catch whether or not you got hit by a laser. That's kind of what it looked like. But then I made the assumption, or the logical leap, that these were like autonomous motorcycles driving around on the streets. And yeah, whatever that's all about. And then later on, I think it seemed like I had a cat. That's why Tino's a star in this one. Seems like I had a cat pulled behind me or something like that in a wagon, like a little tiny trailer or something like that. And then another part of the same, when I'm on the same highway, I think I was on foot and I was like trying to cross the intersection. So whatever, that was a bunch of kind of nonsense, I guess, but I don't know, maybe it applies to something in the unforeseeable future. I doubt it, but we'll see. Then Act 3, the third part, which I thought was kind of a little more symbolic, and I don't know, I'm just kind of like tying these past dreams together where, I had the dream of Dark Age Joe Biden. He's now in office, Inauguration Day. For good or bad, probably mostly bad, but Dark Age Joe was in office, and he was going to use the media to push a product or a message on the American people, and it was like in the form of a little pony horse, which I later interpreted as being like a, what are they called? Trojan horse. Weird, yeah. So that kind of applies with Act 3 in this dream. Act 3, some friends of mine, were up in the mountains. And I think distinctively one of them was a Crow. I'll just call him Crow. He knows who he is if he's watching, which he better be. And it reminded me of a place that I've been before up, what is it, Peaceful Valley or Paradise Valley? Man, now I forgot. Anyway, it's way up Highway 7. Way up above Estes Park, past Allen's Park. Take a right. Anyway, wherever. And it's I think it's kind of a Russian style chapel way up on the hillside. And the surrounding mountains and everything looked similar to that. But when we were hiking up around the structure, it looked more like ancient ruins. And so we were standing out on this precipice and looking out or looking up kind of, and there was like a broke down stone castle tower. That's what it looked like. And the whole, the steeple or whatever, the pointy roof was all broken down or torn down so that you could actually look inside of it. You could see inside of it, the floor, whatever, part of the wall. And again, it was on a hillside, so above it was like this cascading waterfall or fresh mountain spring pouring down onto the... You think so? Oh, you got bad breath. Pouring down, he's getting bored. Pouring down, I better wrap it up quick before he starts getting ornery. He's been known to be an attack cat. That was actually pretty good. Water from the mountain above cascading down on this, what were now ruins of a castle tower. Right? Whatever that means. I don't know. And I saw one detail that I could remember was like you could see, the partial wall with a window, and there was like water pouring down onto the floor and pouring through or out that window. I don't know what this stuff means. It's just interesting, right? Something to talk about. Anyway. Anybody pay attention to what Kamala Harris was wearing today at the inauguration? The signing in? Purple and pearls. Any of my fellow Bible scholars out there make a connection? Woman wearing purple and pearls. I hope so. So not that she's the harlot, but I think they're very big into their symbolism. Somebody messaged me on Facebook and said, I guess Obama or Michelle were the same. And the First Lady prior possibly. So they love their symbolism, though, and they love to just throw it in your face. This is the power behind the curtain that we serve, the Scarlet Curtain, the Mother Harlot Church. Make of that what you will. It's just interesting. There's no coincidences with these people. Especially a big event like this, a big public event that's seen by the world. They like to make things pretty clear for anybody that's paying attention. But unfortunately, they can get away with it because most people aren't paying attention. And they're not very... Sometimes wonder, that just came to me. Do they put these little breadcrumbs out there to kind of like bait people into discussing, talking about it? Like I'm doing, unfortunately or fortunately, for good or bad. Yeah, and now they have all these data systems, data gathering, data mining systems in place to where they can see, oh, these people noticed. Maybe. I mean, I'm there's like, who knows how many lists out there about potential homegrowns. And that'll be the focus, I'm sure. With the coming administration, it'll be, the Democrats are notorious for just turning the weaponry, the machinery of government in on the American people. In recent history, anyway, at least, Republicans have been more like, neocon, wage war abroad. Democrats, they like to focus on the home front. Civil liberties. Strip away our rights in the name of protecting our rights. Yeah. That's the Orwellian doublespeak we got going on right now. I've just had enough. I don't know about you, but somebody else mentioned there's a gold fringe on the flags. I looked that up and I saw several, even with Trump, while he was speaking on stage. So the gold fringe is something interesting, isn't it? If you look it up, I had a friend way back when it was in all this what is now known as the deep state, what was then known as just New World Order, conspiracy, typical government, black helicopter stuff. Anyway, in a war footing, in a wartime situation, when martial law is declared, according to the tradition, I believe, the flag has golden fringes around it. Again, symbolism. They love their symbolism. They like to throw it in our face. And it's just kind of fitting with the previous dreams. There's this push for, we watched the president, I guess, drive his motorcade through Washington. The streets are empty except for lines and lines of troops on the street. And that's normal. It's not a little strange, a little odd, out of the ordinary. Is that the new America? Yeah, I think it might be. Dark Age Joe. Martial law time. Fun times, folks. Fun times. That's what we can look forward to. Just more insanity. It makes me think of the head of the health. It's not the health department, is it? Whatever. The new he/she that Biden's picked. It's like, yeah, this person is perfect to look after the American people's health, right? I want to get his own mental health checked out first before presiding over public health policies. I don't know, it's just a suggestion. Insanity. Anyway, so I'm wrapping up the next highly researched. It's taken too much time to finish this part 2 of the Connecting the Jots. That's not a typo. Connecting the Jots podcast. And it's fun. It's the new format. Sitting at my desk, doing what I do, looking stuff up on the internet, researching, showing you what I see. Desktop video program. And yeah, lots of cool special effects. I play videos. It's not just me talking. It's a little more interesting. Or data driven, hence the connecting the jots theme. Jots and tittles, right? That's part of the scripture. Okay, he's getting upset. He's getting ornery. I think he's heard me talk too long. Tynos has spoken. Tynos has spoken. So thanks everybody for watching. Appreciate it. YouTube right now is throttling the crap out of my videos because no matter what is in the title, no matter how fancy the picture, the thumbnail, I'm getting like trickles compared to some of my earliest videos. Like first and second videos would get more traffic than my latest, and I'm at 137 subscribers right now. So evidently they're not putting my videos on anybody's feeds, so that helps a lot, right? Like what's the point of and they've admitted this is what they do. They don't even give subscribers necessarily all the time your videos on their feed, on their main YouTube page, homepage. And that's how they play. That's the games that they play, these censorship platforms, and it's getting really tiring. I mean, you put hours and hours into a video so that the platform that is holding your video will do everything they can to keep people from seeing your video. So it's like, well, what is the point? And there really is no point in these major platforms other than that's where everybody seems to go to watch videos, even though they'll never find my video unless I give them a link directly. So I'm going to lean more and more towards like alternative, more freedom-loving platforms, and hope that works out. Right now, my base, I guess, if you can call it that, is on the YouTube channel. Majority of my subscribers, but hopefully I can convince people and trickle them over to these other platforms, because this is getting old, frustrating, and nobody likes to listen to me when I'm frustrated, right? Alright, cool. Thanks for watching, everybody. We'll see you later. Interesting times ahead.